Alrighty, good morning, everybody. And there's Jasper Kitty. There he is, kneading the chair. Hello, buddy. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the congestion stream yet again. Every day I wake up now congested with allergies, and I end up having to pop a allergy pill, which I've already done. And I'm waiting for it to kick in and clear out my sinuses. It's very annoying. How are all of you today? Are you all doing good? Are you ready for some fun? I hope so. Jesus, stupid allergies, man. They really suck. I'm ready. Full day of streaming today. As you guys know, I'm going to continue streaming full-time over the weekend, which usually is not the case. But I am here today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. 4 more streaming days in this 8+ days of streaming that I'm doing this week. All right, good stuff. Today is Thursday, the 6th of May, 2021. And I welcome you all here to my first of 2 streams for the day. So apologies in advance for my allergies. You know, again, I am waiting for this allergy pill to kick in. I took it about a half an hour ago. It takes about, I guess, half an hour to an hour to fully take hold. And then all of a sudden, my sinuses clear up. This is what happened yesterday on the stream, too. You know, I was talking on pre-stream. By the end of pre-stream, my sinuses had completely cleared up. So, hope you guys are excited for a full day of streaming. Of course, this weekend, all the hype is about Resident Evil 8. Of course, all anyone's talking about. Everyone is incredibly excited for the fun. Including me. I hope it's good. You know, we talked about it yesterday. Excuse me. We talked about it yesterday on the pre-stream, so I'm not going to go into massive detail about it today. You know, but from all reports, the game is looking good. And I hope that you guys are ready for me to play it 3 straight days. It's going to be 9 to 10 hours of gameplay of the game within the first few days that it's out, which I'm excited for. But we're not there yet, okay? In light of a bunch of stuff that's been going on, I had some ideas last night about a special event that I'm going to be holding next week, all right? People seem to like the idea when I proposed it last night on my Twitter account. So we're going to talk about that in a bit, okay? But first, let's talk about what's actually going on today, shall we? So, today is a fun day. Today we are starting up NiEr Replicant B-side run, all right? This is when you go through the game and you do an alternate run to get more story, much like we did with NiEr Automata, where there's multiple runs. It's the same thing in this game, okay? Now, from what I understand from how it works in this game, I believe what's going to happen is we're going to start in the second half of the story. When you do New Game Plus, you start in the second half. You do not have to replay the first half of the game, which is honestly good because the first half of the game is kind of slow. And I don't want to redo that. I'd rather redo stuff that's more action-packed, and also the quests that basically I didn't do the first time around, we can do them now, okay? So there's some new cutscenes. I guess the gameplay is going to be a little bit different. Supposedly it's not dramatically different, but it is a little bit different in the multiple runs. And you definitely get more story elaboration you did not get the first time around, okay? So the goal here today is to get a good foothold into the B-side run. Do a lot of the side quests and things that I missed out on the first time around that are necessary to get the new endings. There's basically 3 endings. Well, hold on. From what I'm to understand, there's a B ending. Then you could choose between C and D ending. C ending is not canon. D ending is the canon ending. And when you do the D ending, that unlocks the final run. Okay? So, it's pretty crazy. Just like with Automata, how many endings this game can have. And apparently when you did the final ending, this is the canon ending that will lead into the plot of NiEr Automata. Okay? So, here's the thing. There have been some people coming on these streams recently and basically sprouting mistruths about the NiEr Replicant playthrough. And I want to clear up some of those this morning before we even begin with anything else, okay? We have people coming on here saying, oh, no one's coming to the NiEr Replicant streams. The NiEr Replicant streams are slowing down. You you should be playing Returnal nonstop because the Returnal streams have way higher attendance, and the Returnal streams have way more support. So you should just be playing Returnal nonstop and not be alternating between Returnal and NiEr Replicant. Okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have something that I have to respond to, all right? I feel like I am obligated to respond to the people who are saying this with the following answer. Wrong! I took a look at stats. Now, I never do this. I never take a look at stats. I just let my streams roll, and I just say, whatever. Let's just play, have fun with games. I don't care about how many people are on the stream or nothing. I don't pay attention to it at all. Okay? Well, because people were specifically saying this over the past couple of days, I got some data, and the data is as follows. Okay? In reality, the viewership on the NiEr Replicant streams is nearly identical to that of the Returnal streams. What I mean by that is the average viewership. I'm not talking about, oh, there was a spike during the stream because something happened, or there was a spike because pre-stream one day was interesting. I'm talking about overall, if you look at the viewership of the streams, they're identical. The same amount of people are watching NiEr Replicant as are watching Returnal. It's complete falsified information. 100% bullshit. Okay? Now, in addition to that, when it comes to support, they're both good. Both Returnal and NiEr Replicant are getting about equivalent levels of support on the streams. And of course, what I mean by that is people who are tipping during the streams. There's no difference. This is why I like being a variety streamer. Okay? Kubo Souls, thank you. I see you're spamming this message. I've seen it now about 4 times. And by the way, multiple people have sent me guides on how to get all the endings of NiEr Replicant. So rest assured, guys, I'm going to work on it today. You don't have to spam the chat. We'll talk about it while I'm playing, and we'll figure it out together. Okay? Okay. So let's try this again. The level of support during streams is about the same. There is no real difference between those who are attending and supporting NiEr Replicant and those who are attending and supporting Returnal. I'm just being honest. The numbers don't lie. I'm looking at overall viewership of the streams as well as contributions, okay? And the thing is, I'm a variety streamer, and the reason that I enjoy being a variety streamer is that I can play a variety of games. I can balance a variety of games, right? And there are some people who will watch me play no matter what. They don't care what game I'm playing. They'll come into the stream and hang out with me and have a good time. Then there's people who will specifically come for only one game or another, and I totally get that, all right? But both of these games have an audience. It's not like, oh, only one game has people showing up, and the other game there's no one on the stream. It couldn't be further from the truth, all right? Anyone who's saying that, I mean, to be honest, you're wrong, all right? I don't know. I really don't know where this data is coming from, but I know for a fact now, after I've looked at my own personal numbers, that everything's pretty much on par, all right? Now, admittedly, as you play a game and you get further into it, attendance dwindles. You know, the premiere of Returnal and the premiere of NiEr Replicant did great, and as those playthroughs continue on, there's less viewers per stream. That's just a natural thing that occurs with any game playthrough, okay? But to outright try to lie and say you should be playing this one game over another because this game is more popular when you stream it is it's just wrong, all right? Now, please understand that, all right? I hope you understand that. You know, because some people are criticizing, oh, why is Phil only playing Returnal a couple times a week? He should have been playing it all week long and playing it like crazy. And like, well, first of all, as you guys know, I don't like really doing that. I only do that when I feel I have a limited time to beat something. Then I'll play it in kind of a non-stop manner. But I like to alternate. I like to alternate, so that way I'm not doing the same thing every single day. I like variety. That's why I'm a variety streamer. If I wanted to be a streamer who only plays new releases non-stop the day they release till I beat them, I would do that. If I wanted to be a kind of streamer that only played a certain genre of game, I would do that. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. Alright? And most of my viewing audience doesn't like it either. Let's be honest here. Most of my viewing audience would much prefer if I would do variety of stuff too. Okay? So that's the deal. I don't want to hear any more baloney. People bad-mouthing a certain game over another. Why is Phil playing this one game when his other game... No. Baloney. everything in regards to these current 2 new releases that I'm playing has been pretty good, and I have no complaints, about people coming and hanging out and having a good time. In particular, if no one cared about NiEr, okay? If no one cared about NiEr Replicant, then why did so many people go out of their way to try to send me info on how to get all the alternate endings? I'm not even kidding you. It was probably a good 5-6 people behind the scenes, and no one ever does that, ever. But I got a bunch of email. Here's a link to a site, no spoiler way to do it. Here's some info on how to do it. People are excited. They like the fact that last year I went back to NiEr Automata, and I went through all the time-consuming process of unlocking all the alternate endings. People appreciated that I did that. And I told you, and this is the truth, all right? This is the truth. After getting all the alternate endings of NiEr Automata, that is one of the best written stories and endings of a game I've ever played. And that will stick with me for life. I will never forget the ending of NiEr Automata, because that was just breaking the fourth wall. It was like ingenious. I've never seen something like that in a video game before. And I loved it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is one of the most like awesome, meaningful endings I've ever seen in a video game. That was so sweet. So you see what I mean? Like, I'm really enjoying NiEr Replicant. I get the feeling we're gonna have some good stuff coming up. And I'm not gonna stop playing it because we got a group of people who are like, oh, well, Returnal's better. Just play Returnal. No one's watching NiEr Replicant. It's a lie. It's a blatant lie. Okay? So, that being said, no, I'm not going to stop playing NiEr Replicant. It's going to stay in the rotation, and we're going to keep doing it and get the alternate endings. Obviously, I don't want to play this for the next 2 months, but for what I'm to understand, these new runs will not be nearly as long as the first one, because the whole first half of the game's cut out. A whole 10 to 12 hours of gameplay that was kind of the first half of the game is now gone. It's done. And now we can just focus on the missions that I did not do during the first run that are essential for the ending, and or actually seeing new content unlock. It's not, oh, now you got to waste your time redoing everything again from the start. It's not that case at all. It should be more streamlined now that we're replaying these multiple runs, okay? So that being said, that is today's main gameplay stream, all right? 3+ hours of NiEr Replicant B-side run, where we'll be, obviously completing the B-side, but also we're going to be trying to set up for the C and D-side runs, which basically means you need to do certain side quests to get weapons. You have to get every weapon in the game, which I'll be working on. Apparently, there's a certain side mission. Okay? Excuse me. There's a certain side mission that you can earn a ridiculous amount of money doing. Like I think people 50,000 gold or something like that. And if you just redo this side mission a few times, you can earn enough gold to basically do everything you need to do in the game. Buy every weapon and everything. So, obviously, that's what we're going to go for. All right? Obviously. All right, so that's today's main stream. Now, later tonight, it will be a very fun chill stream of MLB The Show 21. I have not played MLB The Show in a week. I'm excited to play MLB The Show because it is a chill game where we get to relax. I get to just kind of focus on swinging at baseballs, pitching a little bit, and we get to interact. We get to have some fun conversations that I really enjoy. I like the chill streams because we really get to have a good time during those chill streams. So I hope that you guys will join me tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, for a very chill, very chill time. All right? And I'm only playing that once a week, by the way. I'm well aware it's not a game that's going to be hyper popular. It's not a game that's going to bring in a ton of people. It's more of a relaxing, deal for me. And that's why I'm playing it at the rate that I am. You're not going to see me play it an insane amount or anything like that, okay? And please know, I know that. I'm not stupid. But I'm enjoying it a ton, a ton. So, hope you guys will join me for that tonight. Good time. Now, tomorrow is the big hyped release. That's right. Tomorrow, Resident Evil 8 Village. Game people have been talking about for quite some time, anticipating for quite some time. It's finally coming out tomorrow. I'm excited for it. I hope it's good. The reviews can be a little confusing, for sure, but I feel hopefully it's going to be a great game. I am. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys will join me for the premiere stream of it tomorrow. All right? It should be a good time. So how's it going to work? It's going to be the main stream for the next 3 days. Okay? Today, tomorrow, and... Excuse me, today. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. It will be the main gameplay stream. So I hope you will join me for all of that. All the festivities and fun. Over the next several days. Okay? And, of course, I fully expect we're going to have more people on the stream than usual. People are going to be here to want to see me play it. People love when I play survival horror games. They think that they're some of the best playthroughs I do. My reactions can be a lot different than other people's, because I don't necessarily get scared by stuff. I think people are very hyped to see what they've done with this game. You know, been a long wait for a new Resident Evil. Finally, the wait is over. People are very excited, and I don't blame them. Okay? So... let us see what happens tomorrow with the big premiere. I'm excited. And over the weekend, okay? Now, I'm playing it all weekend long for a good reason. Because you might say, well, Phil, you literally just said you don't really play games too much too quickly. You balance it out. You're a variety streamer. So why then are you actually playing this game as much as you're playing? And the answer is very simple. It's because... there's so many new releases in a short period of time coming out right now that I need to basically get as far as I can in this game, because next week we got another high-profile release that I'm about to talk about, and I have 2 important things to talk about this release. All right, but anyway, I need to basically get through this game, and the thing is, it's survival horror. People are going to want to see it as much as possible in a short period of time. They are, okay? You know, admittedly, me too. When you get hooked on a good survival horror game, you want nothing but to get through it and get to the end to see what's what the resolution of the plot is and things like that. But in addition, the game supposedly is, if you rush through it, 10 hours long. All right? If you take your time and you explore and you read all the logs and you get into the lore of the game, then supposedly it's about 15 hours long. So it's not the longest game. In fact, it's probably one of the shortest games I've played in quite some time. Okay? But that's the thing. It's so short. Why drag out the playthrough when I've got other things to either focus on that are longer or other things to get to, right? It doesn't make sense. Just get as far as I can in it and try to beat it during a few days as opposed to taking forever and, it doesn't really make much sense, does it? So... that's why I'm trying to play it 3 days straight. I'm off on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll probably do Returnal. And then probably on Wednesday, I'll come back to it, is what I'm thinking. Like, Wednesday, we'll come back to Resident Evil, see if we beat it. If not, I'll probably beat it Thursday. All right? So, that's kind of the focus. Now, that doesn't mean NiEr Replicant will not be played. NiEr Replicant will end up being probably a night stream or 2 during the course of the week when I'm focusing on Resident Evil. In fact, the next NiEr Replicant stream after today is scheduled for Sunday night. And then likely there'll be another one, either... Wednesday, Thursday night, something like that, okay? So, that's kind of the deal. Hope that makes sense. I hope that sounds good to you. Excuse me. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to this coming week playing through Resident Evil, okay? Now, tomorrow night, I see here what I did. I talked about the day streams. I didn't talk about any of the night streams. So to pair with those those daytime streams of Resident Evil, we're going to be doing a variety of stuff. So Friday night, it's going to be my weekly throwback session of Street Fighter, which I do every Friday night. That should be exciting. Old school Street Fighter fun. Then on Saturday, we're going to do a stream of Danganronpa V3, which I'm very excited to continue because the last time we played it, I got into a really exciting segment where there's a double murder. To my knowledge, this might be the first double murder ever in the history of Danganronpa. I'm trying to remember. Excuse me. If ever before, there have been 2 people murdered at the same time and then having to try to get to the bottom of it. I don't recall that happening. Now, keep in mind, I haven't played Danganronpa in a long time. Maybe I'm just misremembering. But This is an exciting one, and I'm going to really be excited investigating and trying to get to the bottom of this double murder. All right? So, good stuff Saturday night. And then Sunday night, like I said, we'll do another stream of NiEr Replicant to continue on with that playthrough. So we're going to have good variety of stuff every night as well, paired with Resident Evil. Then I'm off on Monday, but on Tuesday, like I said, likely it'll be Returnal. And Returnal will be paired with something else at night. What will it be? Not sure yet. I'll think about it. You know, we got to see what late night stuff I'm feeling at that point. You know, maybe it'll be MLB. I'm trying to think, you know, the late night streams. Maybe Pokemon Snap, MLB. We could do a chill stream that night. I just don't know what I want to do yet. You know, it's so far away. I don't usually get too far ahead of ourselves. All right. All right, but the big announcement, guys. I have a big announcement this morning in light of recent events. Okay? So here's the recent events that we're in light of. As you all know by this point, I can't imagine how you wouldn't know this by now. You must be living in a cave under a rock or maybe on Venus. Okay? For some inexplicable reason that I was never explained at all about, I was terminated from the Twitch Partner Program 2 weeks ago. This means no more subscriptions and no more cheering on the channel. Now, the weird thing is I wasn't banned from Twitch, which means I didn't violate Twitch's terms of service at all. So I have no idea what happened, and they will not tell me. They've refused to actually answer up front at all. And my requests to them about what's going to happen, am I going to receive the money that I earned last month for the first 3 weeks of the month when I was streaming, or are they basically just going to try to pocket it? They haven't responded at all. I have to assume then they're going to pocket it, which is not legal, but I can't stop them from doing it. Okay? I also am not going to be going out of my way to do something stupid, like try to get into a legal process about it. It's not worth it. Okay? Now, the thing is, I want to stay here on Twitch. I have built a community here on Twitch in the last 4.5 years. All right? I want to stay here if at all I can. I have found ways to get back the things that we are losing because the partnership is gone. For example, I can reinstitute emotes on this channel through Better Twitch TV. It's going to take some work, so I got to pay $5 a month for a premium membership, and then I have to go over there and I have to find all the emotes on my computer, which some of them I'm sure I don't even have anymore. I'm going to have to re-upload everything, rename everything, and basically try to get all this implemented again. And this means all of you, not just those who used to be sub, but all of you, as long as you have the Better Twitch TV plugin, will actually have access to all of my emotes. Okay? Pretty cool. Now, in addition to that, there are workarounds for some of the other things we've lost, such as polls, and also the penne points that we were using. There are workarounds for these. I can implement bots to run these for us. Okay? But the reason that I have not, gotten any of these things for the channel yet are twofold. All right? The first thing is, I don't really know what's going on with Twitch. I find it very, very odd that I was kicked out of the partner program with no explanation, yet here I am over 2 weeks later, I'm still able to stream and they're not doing anything else. So it's obvious they're saying, oh, Phil violated the partner program, or we just don't want Phil in the partner program for whatever reason. But I didn't break any rules, and they're not gonna kick me off the site, right? I mean, the thing is, it's all assumption. When they don't answer, all I can do is guess. And that's really the problem here is, if I do all this work, right? If I do all this work to get everything set up, excuse me. Oh my God. If I get all this set up, and then they just decide, oh, on a whim, well, Phil, you're out of here. For no reason, and again, it seems like they won't have to explain it, then that was a tremendous waste of time, and obviously that's going to be even worse off for all of you. You'll be all excited to have all these features back, and then I get banned from the site for no reason, right? So obviously this is a major concern, and I wish that someone at Twitch would answer me, but no one will, okay? So it seems like I'm not going to get any peace in that regard. But the other half of this puzzle is very simple. For me to spend here, okay, let's try this again. For me to stay here on Twitch, I need to make sure that I can still make a living streaming on Twitch without subs and without cheering. Okay? And the only way that's going to happen is, number one, to make sure that people are going to be supportive via tipping and via Patreon, because those are the only ways now that you can contribute. That's number one. And number two would be to be sure that I am going to be able to get through this month. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the month of May is now going to be one of the most challenging months I've ever had, because it looks like I'm not going to get paid by Twitch for my performance in April. That means that payment that I always get around the middle of the month. You know, every month I talk about this. If I can just get through the first couple weeks of the month, I get paid by Twitch in the middle of the month, and that pays my mortgage, that pays my back taxes, that pays a bunch of utilities, and then I can move on smoothly for the rest of the month. Well, if I don't get that, I can't pay anything. You know, like right now, all the funds that I'm raising on streams, the tips, are directly paying bills. Already, I can tell you guys this week, I already paid my car payment. Already, the dues for the condo in Connecticut that's being foreclosed and I've stuck with for years, and I have to pay these dues or they could sue me for them. That got paid, even though it's a waste of fucking money. It got paid. Coming up later this week, all right, I have to pay the dues on this condo here that I live in. I also have to pay an upcoming garbage removal bill, which is bi-monthly bill. That has to be paid. And then I got to pay my internet bill. And I have to pay all of that stuff, plus, you know, this coming Monday, I have to go grocery shopping. I have to, you know, pay for stuff on my day off. I have to do all that. And then, in addition to all of that, I need to raise enough money by the 15th of this month to pay my mortgage, because that's when it's due. Okay? It's not good. That is an incredible amount of stuff to pay in a short period of time. And again, usually, the Twitch payment covers the second half of that stuff, and I'm not going to apparently get a Twitch payment this month. Okay? So, this is bad. And so, I've been brainstorming ideas. The first thing I did, as you see on every stream, I've now increased the tips goals from 100 to 200. And I want to say thank you to anyone in the last couple of weeks who has been helping me with this and increased their amount that they're tipping on the streams. It has been helping. You guys are getting me through this short-term problem right now by helping me with that. All right? And the truth of the matter is this. If every single day that I was streaming, I could actually hit those goals, then I would be making enough not only to pay all the bills now, but to pay the mortgage, do everything for the rest of the month. Seriously. If I was making that $200 a stream, I'd be gold. The problem is I'm not. The problem is people have now come on the stream and say, well, we used to sub and we used to cheer, but we don't want to tip because tipping means we have to use PayPal. And we're so deathly afraid that using PayPal is going to dox us that we refuse to use PayPal. Even though I've told you guys a million times that's not the case, people still want to believe their conspiracy theories. So then I say, well, okay, well then please, in the short term, please help me. Pledge to my Patreon. Well, we don't want to do that because Patreon, we feel, is transactional. We feel that when we pledge to Patreon, we're buying something. And if you're not offering great perks right off the bat, then we don't feel that that's worth it. So therefore, we're not going to pledge to Patreon. Like, what are you talking about? It's not, Patreon is not a transaction. You're not going to a store, handing someone money and getting something in return. Patreon is supposed to be, oh, there's a content creator out there or an artist out there who I like and I want to support their work. So here's an ongoing pledge. Oh, by the way, I earned something as a thank you. But it's not supposed to be, oh, this is a direct transactional thing. But people don't understand that. They literally act like Patreon is Kickstarter. It's not. You're not buying a product. But they act like it is. For some odd reason, people have never gotten this weird-ass notion out of their heads over the years. Okay? So, this sucks because those are the only two ways that people can support me. But those who used to sub and cheer apparently have not really converted over that well. Some did, don't get me wrong. Some people absolutely have been tipping, and some people have pledged to Patreon, and I appreciate that. But if you guys have been watching the streams over this week, it's basically not as it was the first week and a half. The first week and a half, we had people coming and rallying, coming to the stream, supporting me to try to get me through this time, which is very appreciated. Now it's all kind of slowed down. Last night on the stream, I raised $50, and that's all I made. There was no cheering and no subbing. On the stream earlier, yesterday, Returnal, I made about $150, which is good, don't get me wrong. But you have to factor in that I used to be making a good amount of tips, plus subs and cheers every stream, and this is what I mean. People are not understanding the giant difference that's now happening because I'm not in the partner program anymore. Okay? So that being said, all right? Obviously, in the long term, my plan is thus. Get the emotes back on the channel. Get bots in here to do polling and to do Penne Point stuff. Update my Patreon this month, by the end of the month, hopefully, to have new perks and things implemented Notably, one of the perks you guys have asked for is multiplayer with me. Again, I keep asking you guys how I can implement that without trolling, and no one has an answer, yet people keep asking for it. And sadly, I hate to say it, but I get the feeling what will happen is I will do it, because if you guys want it, I'll do it. But likely I'll set it up. I'll probably have one day when I'm going to play Call of Duty with patrons, and maybe one day when I'm going to play another kind of a game with patrons. And I guarantee you what it'll end up happening is that we're going to end up with trolls. And there's nothing I can do about it unless someone has a better idea. Okay? But all that being said, I am going to do that by the end of the month. The problem is none of that is going to help me short term. Short term, in the next 9 days now, I have to raise, enough funds to not only pay all my regular bills, but my mortgage and everything. All right, so here's the deal. I've decided to do a special event 1 week from tomorrow. All right? This is going to be the Mass Effect Marathon launch event. As you know, 1 week from tomorrow is the launch of the Mass Effect Trilogy Remastered collection. Okay? And this is a very special playthrough for me because I've not played Mass Effect in, I think, over 10 years. If you look back, the Thugs on the Floor song, okay? The Thugs on the Floor song, which is a special song that was made by a fan many, many years ago, all right? And the song that started all of the remixes of my stuff on YouTube, it was the one that inspired all the other remixes, was made when I was playing my very first ever run of Mass Effect for YouTube, okay? So, this is exciting for me to be able to replay the original Mass Effect, plus, now they have remastered the graphics, the gameplay apparently has been refined, they've hopefully fixed all of the terrible bugs, because original Mass Effect, man, it's a good game, but my god, it has a lot of bugs. There's an entire stage where the frame rate would dip and crash, and then you would get to a certain point and the save game would corrupt and crash. It was really bad. So, the game was outstanding, but it was always plagued by a bunch of issues that hopefully in this collection, they finally fixed them. Okay? So, I'm excited to be replaying Mass Effect. Now, here's the thing. If you didn't hear this, guys, are you ready for this one? I don't know if this is 100% true or not. But here's what I just saw on social media yesterday. Okay? So, apparently, they're making a Mass Effect movie of some sort. Okay, I don't know if it's a live action movie or whatever, but apparently the rights to the Mass Effect soundtrack apparently have been licensed and or sold to Warner Media. And the worry here is that because Warner Media now has the rights to the music, that when people go to stream and upload videos of this Mass Effect collection, that all of those videos are either going to be claimed, or, even worse, that there could be DMCA issues. People are actually worried that, because of the soundtrack, there could be DMCA takedowns in effect. Okay? Now, of course, no one knows if this is going to happen or not, because no one's got the game yet. No one's tried to play it. So, likely what will end up happening is next week, some people will get early copies of the game, as always, and they'll probably try to play it, and we'll see what happens. All right? But, yeah, admittedly for me, it makes me worry. Because, obviously, I want to play it. And the thing is, the soundtrack of Mass Effect, in particular, the soundtrack of Mass Effect 1, is a major part of the game. It's huge. It's oh, God, I forgot his name, the composer. But the music is outstanding for a sci-fi adventure game. Like, it's so good. And I want the music on in the playthrough. Now, here's the thing. If I play this game, and I play it, and, oh no, all the videos get claimed on YouTube, alright? Here's the truth of the matter about that. I'm not too worried about it. Here's why. I've already played Mass Effect 10 years ago. I don't expect that on YouTube, I'm going to be getting insane amount of views and engagement on these videos. I just don't. It's a game that's old. It's a game I've already played multiple times, by the way. If you remember, I did a plane playthrough, then later on, years later, I did an Evil Femshep playthrough. So, I'm fully expecting that this is going to get claimed and the videos, I'll make no revenue on YouTube. All right? But what I'm worried about, honestly, is if there's a new company now has the rights to the soundtrack within the last year or whatever that this happened, are they going to go wild? Did they load the whole fucking soundtrack into YouTube's algorithm? And are they now going to be going claim crazy? Are they going to be trying to take down YouTube videos? Are they going to be trying to take down streams? I don't know. It was Co-Carnage who tweeted about this yesterday, that someone gave him the information, so he's just tweeting it out as a public service. He's like, hey, just so you guys know, it looks like there's a high potential that there could be issues with this, and, you know, might want to be a little bit worried or skeptical about playing it or streaming it. Okay? So for me, it's not an issue of money when it comes to ad revenue on these videos. It's a plain issue of, am I going to get into trouble for playing the game with the soundtrack on? Am I going to get DMCA takedowns against me and shit? I don't want that, obviously. But at the same time, I strongly feel like this game needs its soundtrack. Okay? So it might be a wait and see kind of attitude here. I might want to wait and see next week. I'm sure there'll be people who will be streaming it before me. If they play it and have no issues, if they're not getting claims and shit, then maybe we're in the clear. Or it could be the opposite. It could be that people play it and immediately they're getting taken down. It's like, well, fuck, now I know I can't do it, right? I don't want to play the game muted. I think playing the game muted would significantly take away from the overall gameplay experience of the Mass Effect playthrough. But if I have to do it, I guess I have to do it. I'd rather do a playthrough with no music, okay, than a playthrough that doesn't exist at all. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather play with no music than skip it entirely. So, I guess we'll see what happens. All right? Now, what I was getting into and alluding to here is that next week, for the launch of Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy, since I need help right now with funds to get through this stuff this month, I'm going to be doing a launch day Mass Effect marathon. Okay? Launch day Mass Effect marathon. It will be all day long. I'm playing it on stream, so I'm going to probably get 7 to 8 hours into the game. All right? I love the game, so this will be fun as hell for me. So those of you who like Mass Effect, this is going to be right up your alley. 7 to 8 hours of progress during that day. Now, during that day, I absolutely will have a goal for tips, all right, that I need to raise that day. I'll also be tracking Patreon to see people who pledge to my Patreon, and I'll be giving those people shout-outs if they pledge to my Patreon during that day. Okay? They may say, well, what's the goal? What's it going to be? I don't know, because very, very much it's going to depend on how stuff goes in the next week. Because if I'm streaming over the weekend and Resident Evil 8 does really well and I'm hitting the tips goals all weekend long, right? And then next week goes well, finishing it up and continuing with Returnal and everything. And then we hit the Mass Effect Marathon, maybe it won't be so bad, right? Maybe it'll be, okay, Phil only needs this amount to pay the mortgage and stuff, that's fine. But it very well may be that it doesn't go so well over this weekend and next week, and now I've got a giant deficit that I need to make up for in order to pay my bills this month, all right? So that's going to determine the goal that I'm trying to raise during the Mass Effect Marathon event, okay? And it's going to be exactly for what I'm telling you. I'm not lying, I'm not fibbing, I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to raise this amount, but only this amount goes to this. What I'm telling you is as follows. What I raise during that event will very much pay my mortgage and the bills coming up that next week. Like I said, there's a back tax payment plan that I'm on that I've got to pay, or else I default on it, and I can't default on it. It will completely screw my life up. So please understand that. Like, that the reason I'm doing this on the 14th of May is because my mortgage is due on the 15th. So what I raise on the 14th goes right to the bank account and pays the mortgage in the morning. All right? That's the deal. So it's going to be a very special event with a lot of fun of Mass Effect, a lot of chill gaming. And I hope you guys will come out and chill with me. And, of course, if you can support to help me right now in this time of need, please do. It sucks that I have to do this. Like I told you guys, I haven't had to do a stream like this in so long. I didn't have to do a stream like this last year because of the Vest Streak. The Vest Streak went so well. And, of course, not only was I raising a lot of tips every stream with the Vest Streak, but then we had cheers and subs at the same time. So it was a really good year last year. And I told you, I was on pace. I literally just said this not 3 weeks ago. I was on pace that if things kept going as well as they were going, this year was going to be a turnaround year for me. This year would be the first year where I'd be able to pay all of my federal taxes on time during the year. I would have enough funds to not be behind on anything. And next year, I wouldn't have to do a back tax plan. Next year, I wouldn't have to pay my tax guy an exorbitant amount of money to work with the IRS to get all this stuff hashed out. Instead, it would just be, I can just live a normal life and get caught up on everything. And it would have taken so much stress off my back. And now I can't. Now look what happens, right? On a whim, someone at Twitch makes a decision, won't even tell me why. And now my life's getting fucked up again. And I don't appreciate it. I'll be very honest here. I don't appreciate it. That someone behind the scenes makes this kind of decision, screws my life up, and won't even tell me what happened. Like, that's incredibly disrespectful in my opinion. Obviously, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. But, sadly, I have no power over it, right? Zero. So, it is what it is. I can either sit here and complain about every day about how terrible, woe is me, the world's all against me, or instead I could just do positive gameplay streams with you guys and have fun. And that's what I want to do. I want to be positive and move forward. I don't want to dwell on being mistreated constantly. Okay? So, that's why I need to do this very special fundraising stream next Friday, 1 week from tomorrow. Alright? Like I said, how much I need to raise will very much depend on what happens this coming week. If things go well on all the streams this coming week, then I don't have to worry so much about it. But, if it goes badly or not as good as I'd hoped, then I'm going to have to try to raise more that day. Alright? So I will let you guys know what's happening. But yes, I'm very much planning for this marathon. Alright? Now, if you guys have ideas for anything else that I could maybe do during the marathon that would be special, I'm all ears. I mean, if you guys want me to do a live DSP Tries It, just on a whim, I would consider doing it. Alright? Just something, I want to get people engaged. I want to get people there for the marathon. And I need people to support, obviously. So, whatever's going to get people to come and support, we'll just fucking do it. I don't care. Alright? So, that's the deal, everybody. Please, if you can, please support over the next week. And please let me know if you have any ideas of how to make it happen. And here's the thing. People are like, well, just quit Twitch now. Go to YouTube. That wouldn't help at all. If I were to just quit Twitch right now and move over to YouTube, it wouldn't even help. Because even if I went to YouTube right now and I enabled Super Chat and I enabled members, paid memberships and all that, none of that I would get now. None of it. It would take time to get any benefit from that stuff. So I wouldn't even get anything out of it in the time to help me with all the issue coming up in the middle of the month. You see what I'm saying? So there's absolutely no point in even rushing over there right now. Especially the fact that I want to stay here if I can. So, let's see, okay? Let's see what happens. And hopefully, things go well over the course of the next week. Hopefully, things go well during this marathon event. And, hopefully we're good. I don't know what else to say. Because there's no plan B. There's nothing I can do. I don't have any credit. Because I declared bankruptcy last year. I can't go get a loan. I can't do anything to help with this situation. It's just I have to raise a lot of money in a short period of time. I have to. If I don't, I'm screwed. So, hopefully things go well. And that's all I can say is move forward positively and hope for the best. And hopefully things do go well. Right? That's all I can say. Okay. Alright. So that's the deal. Mass Effect Marathon next week. 1 week from tomorrow. I hope you guys are getting hyped for it. I hope you guys will come attend it, support it, and I hope that you're looking forward to it. I am. That sounds good to me. That sounds very good to me. It sounds like a great event, because I hadn't really planned on doing anything like that, and I'm like, what? That should be cool. Have a full day of Mass Effect fun to launch it, and, hopefully we get a lot of support and everything gets well, and then we can have a nice celebratory finale to this bullshit fiasco, right? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 2 quick news stories to talk about today. 2. And then we're going to get started. All right? So, the 2 news stories, first of all, this one's breaking news. I don't know if you guys heard this one or not. An employee who used to work for 343 Studios. I believe this person is actually Chinese because they wrote this interview in Mandarin Chinese, okay? Has given the inside scoop and spilled the beans on what actually happened with Halo Infinite. They no longer work for the company, so I don't know if they're going to get in trouble for saying this or not, but they came out and explained everything that's going on over there, all right? Here's what's going on with Halo Infinite, all right? Basically, the higher-ups at the company at 343 want this game to be something groundbreaking and different that's never been done before with Halo. They actually felt that this game, would be something that would not only reinvigorate the franchise, but I guess was really supposed to be a reason to buy Xbox Series S and X, okay? They made it an open world game. They wanted this game, instead of being, you know, very narrow scope, Halo, where usually there's just a map you go through, you kill, you know, certain enemies, you drive around in a Warthog, and let's face it, previous Halo games, you've seen me do this before, okay? You can literally run through the entire stage and not kill anything in most Halo games. You could just turbo through it. And that's obviously a huge criticism of the game, is that why on earth is it like that? Why is it that it's so, like, I hate to say it, I don't think that's very good game design, that you could just turbo through a stage and not fucking even kill anything and just get through it. It's so stupid. So they wanted to change all of that. From the ground up, they wanted to redesign the game to be open world. But not only did they want to redesign the way the game played, they wanted to use their own new game engine. So they're not buying the Unreal Engine. They're not licensing another engine. They wanted to make a game engine from the ground up to play this game in. So essentially, they bit off more than they could chew. Okay? They took on way too much of an undertaking. And essentially, the team that was working on it at 343 couldn't handle it. He says basically they were working days. There were days when they were working overnight, going home for only a few hours, coming back in the next morning. Insane grind, insane overworking of the employees. Because again, their goal was to get this game out last fall with the launch of the Xbox Series S and X. So they were being literally destroyed to try to get this game out in the time frame that these people had promised, and it just didn't happen. They said that's why that demo last summer, remember, they had the demo that everyone laughed at. The fucking alien's face that looks hilariously bad, low resolution. The gameplay elements that look wonky. The graphics just look terrible. And I even said it right after that gameplay teaser came out. I said, man, that looked bad. Like, that looked really bad. Like, bad resolution and everything. And everyone made fun of me in immediate. Then everyone actually went back and watched it on demand rather than on the live stream. And everyone's like, oh, shit. That does look like shit. This is supposed to be a launch title for a new console. It looks like shit. You know, it's because it's in a whole new engine. They didn't work out the bugs or nothing. It's just a really shitty, engine, essentially. So that's what the employee says. Now the employee doesn't work for 343 anymore. He says, now I work for a new company, and let me tell you, my life is so much better. Like, my time at 343 Studios was a nightmare. I hated it because they overworked us so badly. And then now I work at a company that's more realistic and more reasonable, and my life is way better. So, are we shocked at this? Like, I mean, seriously. It's 2021. We're hearing these stories every day now from every fucking game developer. Are we really shocked to hear this is what happened with Halo Infinite? I'm not. This certainly sounds like par for the course kind of stuff that we knew was happening anyway. Okay? Alright, so now who knows when the hell Halo Infinite will actually come out. Now, the other news story I want to talk about today addresses a major topic that happened last year, net neutrality. Does everyone remember when net neutrality was the hot topic? Everyone was talking about that it was being repealed and that it was going to be a huge problem and that ISPs were now going to be able to control the kind of information that you see on the internet, and likely they're going to end up putting data caps on all the internet so no one will be able to live stream anymore. Well, obviously, net neutrality was repealed, and that did not happen yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I would say give it some time. You know, give these fuckers some time to fuck around with stuff and screw it all up. But I think maybe the initial overreaction was pretty bad. At the same time, I do support net neutrality, and I do feel the internet is a commodity, and that it should be regulated as such. We shouldn't have companies completely controlling the internet. Okay? That's a bad thing to have companies completely controlling the internet. But the reason I bring this up, excuse me, is because during the time frame when apparently it was determined that net neutrality was messed up and should be repealed, there was a website that was set up. And this website was set up to take in feedback from the common person. Supposedly that's what it was supposed to be. Come give us your opinion. This website received some over 20 million comments, supposedly from just common internet users. And supposedly, the vast majority of those comments were, we want to repeal net neutrality, we support the repeal, we don't think that it has any benefit, and we think that the internet would be better if net neutrality were repealed. Okay? That's basically what we were told. That there was this place where people were to submit their online comments, and apparently the vast majority of the comments were for the repealing of net neutrality, which is why the government sought to repeal net neutrality. Okay? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since net neutrality was repealed, there's been a giant investigation launched to figure out, is this true or not? Ladies and gentlemen, are you shocked to find out it's actually bullshit? Because the investigation, which just was released publicly to the internet today, has revealed the following. 18 million of the 20-some million comments that were posted were fake. The vast majority of the comments were made by a bot service that was hired. Now get this, the rumor, I don't know if this has been corroborated yet, was hired by ISP companies. So, you know, the people who give you your internet paid someone to go to the site and flood it with fake comments saying, I support the repeal of net neutrality, so that it would be repealed, so now they have more control over your internet. This is not a conspiracy, this is fact. They did an investigation and proved it. It's now hit the net today. So, gee, I couldn't possibly believe that in corporate America, that someone was doing underhanded to control our lives and make more money. I never would have thought that. I thought everything was kosher, man. I thought that everything was truthful and at face value. Right? Now, what's going to happen as a result of this, I have absolutely no idea. You know, I don't know if any disciplinary action will be taken, because it's pretty underhanded that the companies that control the internet paid to have fake comments be put on a site that then decided that they were going to repeal the thing that allowed those companies to not control the internet. You see, it's pretty insane, actually, when you really think about it. So, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm curious to see what happens next. Like, what's the next steps? Will there be people held accountable? Well, I think what they were saying is the company itself that posted the fake comments is going to have criminal charges put against it of some sort, but it's not sure what yet. Like, I don't think it's actually been determined yet exactly how it's going to work. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But I read it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Of course, right? I mean, it's hilarious because people make conspiracy theories up. Reality sometimes isn't so far away, man. Like, it's so ridiculous. You would think 18 million people would go out of their way to say, yeah, go repeal net neutrality. Like, what? I don't know if there's 18 million people who fucking knew what it was. So how is that even possible, right? It just sounds so stupid. Alright, anyway. I digress. Alright, those are the two stories I wanted to talk about today. So let's get to shout-outs. First of all, Snow Carl tipped me $1.30. Says you're free to play a less popular game if you like, but Returnal has 20 different people tipping. And 950 viewers, wherein NiEr is supported by 2 to 3 people and ended at 350 or so viewers. Alright, again, Snow Carl, as I said earlier, that is complete misinformation. You are looking at a moment in time versus the average performance. On average, the viewership for Eternal is right around the same as the viewership for NiEr Replicant. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. I saw the numbers myself. I'm not going to go into, talking about this the whole stream. It absolutely is untrue what you're telling me. I know you don't really like NiEr Replicant. You want more Returnal. I get that. I like Returnal now. You know, I've gotten further in it. I'm doing better. I understand the premise of it. That's not going to change facts. Local Nomad took me $4, and I'm watching your playthrough of Sonic Mania. You actually played it at the midnight release. Is there any foreseeable game you would excite you enough to do that again? Either way, thanks for the stream. Here's the deal. At one time, midnight releases were an amazingly fun thing that I used to do. I really enjoyed doing midnight releases because it allowed me to, number one, play the game right away, and number two, get gameplay footage of a game out on YouTube, mostly before most other people, or alongside other people who got the game at midnight just like me. Okay? Now, that was a long time ago. Over the years, many things changed, and here's what changed. Number one, I became a full-time streamer. And being a full-time streamer, I play games now on a set schedule so people know exactly when to come by and see me play what, right? When I veer from that schedule, because it's such a set schedule that usually happens like clockwork, a lot of people get thrown for a loop, don't realize that things are not the usual, and they end up missing out. That's number one, okay? Now, number two, since I am a live streamer, right, I'm very different now than I used to be. It used to be, oh, get all those videos out for YouTube, get the playthrough out right away, day one views and all of that, right? It used to be all about the views. Had to be all about the views because that's how I made my money. That's how I made my living, was views, views, views. Okay? But that was a long time ago. For the last 4.5, 5 years, things have been very, very, very different. And by the way, I'm happy they are. I'm happy now that I can play a game at my own pace, on my own schedule, on my own time, not have to rush through it. You know what I mean? I'm having a good time doing these things very differently than the way I used to do it. I feel now that a playthrough that I do is more meaningful than a playthrough that I used to do many years ago because I don't rush through it and everything anymore. Okay? Now, that being said, okay? That being said, there are still some games that maybe would be pretty cool and hype for me to play at a midnight release on launch night. But the last couple times I tried to do it, essentially they failed. Meaning the attendance was low and people actually complained the next day. Oh, I missed out on the launch stream because he did it so goddamn late and I was either they couldn't attend or they were playing the game themselves and they missed out. And they were disappointed with that. So that's actually why I stopped doing the midnight releases. Now also, let's be very honest here. The entire way that content creation works has changed. It used to be that anyone could go out and get a game at midnight and be the first to get videos up on the internet. Now, because it all became about money, 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 you know, and this elitist group of gamers who are the golden content creators selected by most major publishers to be their talking heads about kissing ass and saying all their games are great, all right? Games are now out early to certain people only. These people get the games sometimes weeks in advance and are allowed, they're given permission to play and stream them incredibly early. So they've got advanced access to games. They get to do early reviews. They get to stream it a day or two early and make extra money. All those early views of here's the one of the first people playing the game, gone. There's no way to even have that system work anymore. It just doesn't work because they did that. They changed everything. Okay, so the whole idea of a midnight release stream doesn't even really work anymore. Number one, I know a lot of my viewers are going to be playing the games for themselves and wouldn't be able to attend the stream. Number two, a lot of my viewers are used to a set schedule of when I'm playing games. And number three, it really wouldn't benefit me in any way anyway, because people already played the fucking game and it's all over the internet by the time that I get to play it. You see? So that being said, it's funny, right now on this very stream, on the before I started doing pre-stream, people in the chat were like, oh my god, look at the insane amount of people that are already playing Resident Evil 8. How are they doing that? Because it's not out yet. Take a wild guess. They either got early copies because they're the approved streamers by Capcom to play this game early, to promote their fucking game, kiss the game's fucking ass, or they all cheated. They somehow managed to get a copy early by luck, or they had some underhanded means to do it. Maybe they got the game and they've changed their internal system clock to make it think like they live in New Zealand, so the game unlocks early. You know, all bullshit to try to rush and play the game early to make money. I don't care about that shit anymore. I'm going to have a fun playthrough of this game over this weekend that's going to be fun with all of you. I don't care about getting the day one views. I don't care about any of that shit. I just don't anymore. I just want to have a good time with the game. I don't want to be a part of their fucking drama bullshit. I don't want to be part of their golden selected content creator community. They can get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm just going to play games and have fun with you guys, period. So there's really no reason for me to do midnight releases anymore. I feel that they'd actually be less beneficial than anything else. I just stay on my schedule and people seem to like it. So, okay. Benzuko Lives, to me, $4.20, and that's actually the top tip of the day. So let's get Benzuko Lives up on the leaderboard. That's why I have not put any names up there. And it just so happens that's the last tip that I got. Gotta put this up there. And that jumps up to $9 in tips. There we go. Okay. He says, I can't afford to tip much. Me and the missus are saving up for a trip. I can tip a few times a month. Would you prefer if I use my tip money to pledge to your Patreon or continue random tips? Which helps you the most? In reality, doesn't matter. Either one is fine because unlike some other methods of contribution that I no longer have as avenues of contribution, you know, when you tip me, basically there's a small transactional fee between PayPal, you know, and so they will take a small cut, but it's very small. If you pledge to my Patreon, they take a small transactional fee, but they're not, these aren't giant things. These aren't giant cuts or anything like that. So, whatever, you know, however you want to contribute is perfectly fine. If it's tipping or pledging, either helps. So, go right away, and however you want. I leave it to you, no preference. Okay? All right, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a break for me to use the restroom. I recommend that you do the same. Grab a drink, grab a snack, use the restroom yourself, whatever it is that, you know, you want to do during this few minutes here. When we come back, it's the continuation of NiEr Replicant. I'm starting up my B run, B side. We're trying to do all the things I need to do, not only for the B ending, but also to prepare for the future, because there's three more endings, but two of them are very similar. And then there's the ending, the secret ending. So I'll be doing all that today on stream. Thank you in advance for your viewership and support and chilling with me here. Very much. Thank you. All right. All right. I shall be back shortly. Thank you for chilling, and I shall see you in a bit. All right.